Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Rita Video to those that do not know me. And today I'll be sharing with you guys how I got scammed £1,000. Yes, actually £1,062 to be precise. And if you are interested and you do not want to make the same mistake that I made, please stay tuned. So this happened to me last year in 2024 October, and how it happened to me is I was trying to get a driving instructor. So I'm going to give you a little background story for those that do not know how the system works in the UK, right? So when you first come to the UK as a migrant, you are allowed to use your international driver's license for the first year that you are in the UK. And unfortunately for me, I didn't even get to use mine because I did not buy a car in the first year that I was in the UK. But anyway, after the first year, then you are expected to take a driving practical test, and you also are expected to sit for a theory test. And I know it doesn't make sense, right? Because you've already been driving in the UK for a year, but then it is how it is. That's the system and we cannot change it. So what happened for me, I did not feel confident after the whole time I was in the UK to just take the test without any lessons or any, because I feel like a few things are different. It worries me driving in the UK, honestly speaking. But then again, there is another thing. How it also works in the UK is if you learn how to drive an automatic car, your driver's license is going to be limited to you driving automatic cars only. But if you learn to drive a manual car, then your driver's license will allow you to drive both manual cars and automatic cars. So personally, I did not want that limitation to my driver's license. And because at home, even though I wasn't driving for long, I was driving an automatic car, so I wanted to learn how to drive a manual car. So I was trying to get myself an instructor. So also, it is quite a struggle to get an instructor in the UK for manual cars. Most times you'll find that there are waiting lists, 3 months waiting list, and it is very, very hard to drive an instructor. And honestly, driving lessons are expensive in the UK, but then again, it is what it is. So I remember I had been trying for several months to try and get an instructor for a manual car, and I wasn't getting any. They kept telling me about waiting lists. But then one day I called a particular company. So how I did it, I went on the internet, I would search driving instructors near me or something along those lines. So I eventually got on this particular website. I'm not gonna mention it because I don't know if I can do that, but I went on this particular website and I called the number, and honestly, to me, it seemed legit. The website seemed like it was legit, and the last time I checked, it actually was still up, and quite a number of people I think used it. So I found this particular website and I called the number. And when I called the number, I'm one person that does not like leaving, just filling a form and leaving at that and hoping that I get called. I prefer calling because it's faster. I know what to do quicker. I guess I'm not patient enough. And so when I called, somebody picked at the end of the line, and I told them what I wanted, and they were happy. They told me how they worked, and they even told me that they had a 10% discount going, that if I block booked lessons, then I could get a 10% discount. So I was happy. So I'm also a type of person that does not like owing people, or just knowing that I owe. I just want to pay for something and just get over and done with it, and then just be at peace and know that at least they owe me. So maybe that person, right? They told me if I booked I told them that I was a beginner when they asked, because usually they will ask if you're a beginner, or I think that determines how long your lessons should take, or yeah, just that. So I told them just I was a beginner. So I think it was 40 lessons they said I would be paying for, and they had said that after the 10% discount it would be 1062. And honestly, compared to what the prices are in the UK to actually take lessons, that was like a nice deal in my head at the time. And now that I think about it, I think I should have actually questioned why it was so cheap, like for 40 lessons. Anyway, I did agree to that, and then they told me they would send me an email with all the details, and that if I was still happy to like continue, then they will send me an email with the link where I'm going to make the payment. And that made sense to me. They didn't even it didn't even feel like they were like eager for me to actually do it. It was just if I felt like I wanted to do it, right? So the call ended, and yes, a few minutes later the email came in, and I responded with everything, told them that I was still interested, and sent all the details they wanted, which I think the things I can remember were my provisional driver's license number, my address for the pickup, my I don't remember other things, but anyway, I sent whatever they asked for at the time. And then we booked dates as well on when I was gonna be available for actually my first lesson. And then they told me that after the first lesson I would just talk to the instructor about my next availability. Right. So they also told me that they would call the instructor would call a few days before the lesson. So I think, if my memory serves me well, I think the first lesson was supposed to be on the 17th of October, and I think I made the payment on the 6th of October. Yes, I think so. So, excuse me. Time went by. I was excited that finally I found an instructor. Mind you, funny enough, every time I have to make an online transaction that is like above £100, I usually make sure that I actually research whether it's a legit website, but the one time that I was going to spend £1,000, £1,062, I actually was so eager about these driving lessons that I did not do a thorough research. But anyway, continuing the story. So the class was booked and I was happy. So I remember a few days before the due date for the first lesson, I was going to work, so I wasn't really paying attention that nobody had called me actually about the first lesson to confirm the pickup and everything else. And then I remember the previous day, because I think the first lesson was on the 17th, I'll say on the 16th. I remember I was working as well a long day, and after work it just clicked in my head that nobody has actually called me to say anything, to confirm anything about tomorrow. But then I was like, maybe that's because nothing's changed, I just brushed it off. And then the next day in the morning, now I was a bit worried, like, is this still gonna happen? Nobody's called me, I haven't gotten any message to say anything. So I woke up in the morning, and I think after 7 I just started calling the same number that I called the last time, and then there was an automated message that was telling me that offices were opening at 8 or whatever. Yeah, I don't remember the words exactly. And then okay, I waited until after 8, and then I tried calling again. Guess what? The number went through, but nobody was picking. And you know how usually we'd leave messages? No, it said that what is it called again?
One eternity later.
Right, voicemail, guys. Sorry, my head just went blank. the voicemail was full, and that was like the moment I knew that something was wrong. Fine, but then I still decided, you know what, I'll just give them more time, because I think my class was supposed to start at like, my lesson was supposed to start at like 10 o'clock, and I think it was like after 8 hours. I just was like, you know what, I'll just give them more time. And funny enough, I actually got ready, showered, and did all that, even though in my head I was feeling like, I feel like something's wrong. And then anyway, I was ready. 10 o'clock happened, and there was no one outside my house, no one. I tried calling, and the same thing was happening. Nobody was picking, voicemail full. And then it was that at that moment that I knew. It was at that moment that I knew that I had been scammed a whole £1,000. And yes, it did not feel good at all. But then again, I think it took me a while to actually let it sink in, to actually believe that I think I still thought, I for some reason, I still thought that someone was gonna call and just tell me that there was a miscommunication. But no, the day ended and there was absolutely nothing. And yeah, it dawned on me that I actually lost £1,000 just like that. And you know how funny, when I'm in that situation, I start converting it to my currency, and once I do that it becomes worse, because then it sounds like much money. I mean, even when I say £1,000, it still sounds like a lot, but when I say 20,000 rand or 20,000 maluti, that is worse. So anyway, I gave it a few days. For some reason, I didn't know what to do. Gave it a few days, and I was like hopeful for some reason still. And then no, nothing happened. Tried calling, the same situation went on and on. And then the following day, I just decided, you know what, let me just research about this company and whatever. And guess what? That's when I noticed that it was an actual scam. I noticed that a lot of people had been scammed, but I was the one who was the stupidest, because I was the one who actually used the most amount of money there. I think the highest person that I saw on those reviews and whatever had only done like £300. And no, I donated £1,000, guys. Like, I donated a whole £1,000. I started thinking how long it takes me to actually accumulate £1,000 when I'm at work, and no, it wasn't good at all. But eventually I just decided, you know what, I'll just report to the police, and I'll just let my bank know what had happened. So I did report to the police, though with them as well. It was like supposed to be an online thing, because it's not like an ongoing active crime that needs urgent attention or anything. So I filled that online report and everything, and I submitted it, and I let my bank know as well that I had been scammed. And with the bank, they said that they would open an investigation, and it would take approximately 5 weeks. So I had to wait 5 weeks. I think the police, I got a message before them, from them before the bank. I think they said that they could not follow it up, because I think the details I had given, I didn't give them enough details for them to like make a full investigation or something along those lines. So anyway, I let her go. And then the bank, after those 5 weeks, you know what, I am so grateful for that bank, because they refunded my money. I personally don't think they actually managed to make contact, because why I had to wait those 5 weeks was the bank was going to try and actually contact the company or the person or whatever it was, and then just try to see what the problem was gone and investigate and whatever. But I don't think they managed to get through to that company, person, whatever. I don't know what to call it at this point. But guys, be careful when you make online transactions. After that, I actually learned that it was one of the most common crimes here in the UK. It's one of the most common ways that people are scammed of their money by fake websites, fake driving websites, or whatever. And yeah, I was traumatized for months. I did not want to book driving lessons. I was scared that I was going to make the same mistake again. And you know how I did it the second time around? Because yes, I started the lessons this month actually. So how I did it this time around, I made sure I look at the cars on the road, the driving school cars on the road, and actually look at those names and then come and search the numbers when I get home of the actual names I saw. And thankfully, though it still took me a bit of some time to actually find some space, but finally I found an instructor and I am happy. So I hope it goes well. But guys, be careful. That's the whole point of this video. Just be careful whenever you're gonna make a transaction online. Research about the website and make sure that you're not being scammed, because you may not be lucky enough to have the money refunded. And guys, we work hard for this money, so let's not give it away that easy. Yeah. And thank you for watching this till this far, if you made it, and I will see you in the next video. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye.